All this political division can feel like it's just noise, right? Something abstract that happens on TV or online. But what happens when that division spills over and causes a real human tragedy? Today, we're going to break down a really powerful message from Arnold Schwarzenegger, who weighed in not as a celebrity, but just as a human being who was completely shaken by the devastating cost of our divided world.
And it all kicks off with this raw, emotional gut punch. See, Schwarzenegger just cuts right through all the political talk to get to what really matters. Someone is gone. A life was taken. And the reason why? It was just because of a difference of opinion. And that simple, tragic fact is what sets the stage for everything he has to say.
So let's dig into that. Let's really unpack what he believes was truly lost here. Because this isn't about scoring points in a debate. This is about facing the real, tangible human cost when our disagreements spiral out of control. And this is how he framed it. He didn't see a political rival. No, he saw a whole person. A great communicator, sure. A powerful advocate, absolutely. But so much more than that. He saw a great father and a great husband. He even pointed out the heartbreaking reality that this man's kids will now only get to read about their dad instead of having him read bedtime stories to them. I mean, wow, that's the real cost. So, starting from that very personal tragedy, Schwarzenegger then zooms out to look at the bigger picture. He starts asking, okay, where is all this anger and division coming from? He actually calls it the division machine, and he starts pointing fingers at the forces he thinks are stoking these fires in our society.
And listen, he doesn't hold back on who he thinks is to blame. He says it's coming from all over. He points to social media companies, mainstream media companies, but he also calls out both major political parties, the Democrats and the Republicans. The key thing he said was, we're getting hit from so many different angles. So for him, this isn't about one side being right and the other being wrong. It's a systemic problem.
To really hammer home just how dangerous this is, he paints this really vivid, honestly kind of terrifying picture. He wants us to imagine our entire society standing right on the edge of a cliff, and we're being pushed closer and closer to the brink.
And that is what's at stake. This isn't just about arguments on the internet. For Schwarzenegger, what's waiting at the bottom of that cliff is a world with no democracy. If we fall, it's all gone. Everything we kind of take for granted. The stakes literally could not be higher. Now, when you hear all that, it is so easy to feel completely overwhelmed, helpless. But this is the exact moment where Schwarzenegger totally flips the script. He goes from explaining the problem to offering up a solution. He wants to move us from feeling powerless to feeling like we can actually do something. He asks the question that I think is on pretty much everybody's mind. It's a feeling we can all connect with, can't we? I mean, you're up against these huge forces, giant media companies, entire political parties. What on earth can one person, just one individual, possibly do? And his answer is so direct, so empowering. He says, no, don't give in to that feeling of helplessness. He truly believes that every single one of us can make a difference. And how do we do it? By choosing to show leadership. Not, becoming president, but showing personal leadership. Okay, so what does this leadership even look like in our normal, everyday lives? Well, according to Schwarzenegger, it all boils down to making a conscious choice. A choice to take a different path than the one everyone seems to be pushing us down. He lays out these two very clear paths for us. On one side, you've got the path of division, and that's the one we're being nudged towards constantly, right? See the other side as the enemy, fight fire with fire, basically declare war on each other. But then there's the other path, the path of leadership, and that means you actively refuse to call people your enemy. It means you find ways to come together, and maybe most importantly, you become the example of the change you want to see.
Because it all comes down to this one simple reminder. The real power in a society, it doesn't belong to the media or the politicians. It belongs to us. People power, he says, is the ultimate power. We are the ones who can choose to stop feeding that division machine.
And that really brings us right to the final thought here. Schwarzenegger's message isn't just some observation. It's a direct challenge to every single one of us. It's asking us to look in the mirror, to look at our own lives and how we interact with people. So we'll leave you with this question to chew on. In your own life, in your community, with your family, even online, what does choosing that path of leadership actually look like for you?